I remember last year when we brought Encik Shamsul up, to continue with the Earth Hour, even if it's via Zoom. And the event was rather heartbreaking because we were all then at the start of the lockdown pandemic, and we were slowly adjusting to being confined to the home. But this year, 1 year later, we are still celebrating Earth Hour. Many of us are at home. There are a few who are in school now. But the situation, I think, is slowly coming around. The vaccine is out. People are getting vaccinated. And school is slowly coming back to normal. And hopefully next year, Earth Hour 2022, we can all be together in school celebrating this very momentous yearly event. And I would just like to share one or two things with everyone. The Eco School program actually started in 2012. So now we are actually on the 9th year. And next year will be our first decade, 10th year. And so much has been achieved in this past 9 years. I see the involvement of the students, the implementation of eco subjects, eco topics, eco elements in the subject is always on the rise. And this is part of the whole Eco School agenda, and I think we are achieving the milestones. I'm very thankful to all the students who have put in so much effort and so committed in ensuring Earth Hour and Eco School at Sri Bestari Private School is a success. But I always share that as we learn and as we navigate through this path of Eco School, we also need to share with people who are less knowledgeable, less exposed to eco and sustainability principles. And the more we share, the more we learn, and the whole world can be a better place. Incidentally, we see we are coming to the end of March, going into April, and normally this period is a dry period in Malaysia, but we read in the papers there was something like a tornado in Pahang, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, and in KL itself we experienced a very heavy downpour this evening, and it has been occurring on a daily basis. And the whole Peninsula Malaysia, I think everywhere we are experiencing heavy rain in the evenings. It's rather odd at this time of the year that this is happening, but we see that the weather patterns have also changed dramatically. And aptly, our theme this year for Sri Bestari Private School Kuala Lumpur is Water for Life. And there's just so much water that is happening almost on a daily basis. I shall not say too much because I think I've been limited to 5 minutes. I think there are a lot of videos and whatnot sharing that's going to take place. But from the bottom of my heart, I wish everyone a good health, safety, and I really look forward to everybody coming back to school, especially the secondary kids on 5th of April. And we will ensure that we do the best for our school, we will do the best for our staff, and we will do the best for our students. Because Sri Bestari has been breaking new ground almost on a monthly and a yearly basis, and we're going to keep at it. And I think we are going to be very, very successful. Okay, and then on that note, Happy Earth Hour. I have a small candle here, if you can see. So I'm also like someone in the dark and trying to comply to switching off the lights. Okay, enjoy. I will be with you for the next hour and a half. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen, for that amazing speech.
Now let us have Mr. Shamsul to give us a few words.
Dr. Stephen, is it for secondary?
No, everyone. For everyone, no worries.
Even standard 4?
Yes, even for your parents. They should also log in. Everybody can learn. Everybody can experience this very a significant hour. It's for everyone. Don't worry. The whole world is celebrating Earth Hour this moment. Okay. Thank you for being there. Bavan Pang.
This one's not.
Okay.
This
Thank
one's not
you.
open. Yeah, this one's not open. Off the what?
Encik Samsul, please share a few words.
Thank you also for
even we are now meeting by Zoom. But me and my team here, we are in this
Encik Shamsul?
Okay, we will make sure that our school compound is totally light off in short while. So to Mr. Josh O'Neill and Melissa from the Little Club. So thank you very much for being part of us. Okay, so enjoy the Earth Hour, Golden Hour. Okay, thank you, Chen and Jia. All back to you. Thank you.
I use my hotspot.
Now we shall wait until 8:30 for our lights out.
So, Jaman, what has been your experience with the previous Earth Hours?
I've just become an Eco Team member this year, and I think it's really fun when I joined like last year and also previous years. But nowadays we are having an online one, so I think it's also like a good opportunity for us, even though we are at home or in school right now, so we can still like connect to each other.
Yes, that's true. Like, just because there is, like, we are in lockdown doesn't mean that, we have to let go of all these activities.
Yeah, it's very true. Because eco, we should do it at all times. We should not just do it because we are in school or that's an excuse for us to stop doing it, even though it's in an MCO right now. Yes.
In my opinion, I think that it is also quite innovative to do this Earth Hour online because I've not actually seen many other schools do it. And it also creates like a platform for us students to plan our own event and also do our part for the environment.
Yeah, like last year we had our Earth Hour online too, and I think that now like this year we had like more experience, so we know that what can we do right now, and this is a very good opportunity for us for the eco team also to like grow up and like go to another level. So guys, now there's 5 more minutes till our Earth Hour.
But also, just because it is Earth Hour for just that 1 hour to off the lights, I think that we should also like maintain this every day. Like when we have lights that are not being used, and when we are not in that room, we should also off the lights too, to just save our, not just save our electricity bill, you know, save our parents money, but also we can save the earth, save the amount of energy that's being used, so it can be conserved for the future.
Yeah. So we should always have this thing in our mind that we should cut our electricity use and make Earth Hour like a daily thing where we do at home.
海腾腾，你们住在楼下的吗？也是在狗狗桌子吗？狗狗桌子吗？没有啊，
Please mute your mics.
后面那边啊，你只一个做什么嘞？
All right.
All right. So Jaman, what else do you think that we can do to take care of the environment?
There's actually a lot of things, you know, even though small steps that we take.
Hello. Hello.
Please mute your
Hello. Yes.
Mics. Okay, yes, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying that actually we can have Earth Hour every day and it can be carried out in our daily life too. Even small steps like maybe throwing our paper into the recycle bin, it can be also a step of going green. And for that, we can also save our planet. Don't think that we must take a very, very big step like building a recycle center or things. Only that is counted as an equal step. But no, there's a lot of things that we can do to save this planet, save this earth, and save our future.
Yep, since there is about 7 billion people on this earth, if each and every one of us just takes the time to, you know, do the simple things like off the lights, save a bit of water, use less paper, and it can make a very big impact.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So now, why don't us, as now the pandemic are going like improving, so why not us like try to improve our environment day by day by just doing a small steps?
Yes, each small step counts. It doesn't mean that you have to be like some big engineer to make a difference. Each of us can make a difference as well.
And now there's 1 more minute to our Earth Hour. Get ready to turn off your lights and all your electrical appliances.
And also make sure to have a candle ready if you would like to see.
And also get ready a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil because later on we will be using that for one of our activities.
Yep.
Now we have 30 seconds more. All right, now lights out in 10,
9,
8,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This marks the start of our Earth Hour.
Now, let's move on to our first event, which is the narrated videos by Chan Zihao and Raihana. Enjoy.
I am coral. Some people think I'm just a rock, but I'm actually an animal. In fact, I'm the largest thing alive on this planet. I'm so big I can be seen from space. But for how long? I grew for almost 250 million years. humans came along, and now 1/5 of me is gone. Sure, I live at the bottom of the sea, and you might not see me that often, but you do need me. Do you realize that 1/4 of all marine life depend on me? I am the nursery of the sea. Little fish depend on me for food and to hide from the big fish. And guess who eats the big fish? That's right, you do. I'm the protein factory for the world. Yet you raise the temperature of the ocean, so I can't live here anymore. And when big storms and tsunamis barrel through the ocean, I'm your fortress. Yet you tear me apart with dynamite and poison me with cyanide. Well, here's a crazy thought. Stop killing me.
Now for our narrated video by Raihana.
I am the forest. I take in your pollution and give you clean air. Purify your water and protect your shores. And yet, you continue to cut me down, releasing carbon into the air and heating this planet. Will some of you stand with me? Most of you turn your backs on me. When I fall, you fall with me. And when I thrive, you thrive with me. You see beauty in me. You see peace. Yet I am also an unforgiving force. I can be merciless. I can be brutal. I don't really need people, but people need me. When your water rises and your air is poisoned, who not to blame but you? I give and I give air, medicine, life. Beauty, and peace. And yet you burn and you cut and you take and leave cinders in your wake. But I am resilient. Let me grow and we can solve your climate problem together. How you choose to live each day, whether you regard or disregard me, doesn't really matter. One way or the other, your actions will determine your fate. When one tree falls, you might not hear it. But when millions fall, I assure you, you will feel it.
Wow, Jaman, what did you think of that video?
was really nice and educational.
Moving forward, we have a very special performance by two of our students, Achuta Raj and Jason P. They will be doing a guitar performance.
Thanks for the wonderful performance, Achuta and Jason.
Let's play a game. Guess the words based on the drawing on the screen by our Eco Team leader, Long Sekai. Please write down your answer in the chat box and a winner will be chosen for the one who guesses it in the quickest time. Now, for the first word, I would like to invite Sekai to draw on the screen. Yes, the correct answer for this round is recycle. Congratulations to Sherman for guessing it in the quickest time. Next, we have another word.
Okay, now we have our winner in hand right now. Yes, the answer is light bulb. Congrats to Kyrie Zikri. Let's go to the next word.
Kenapa kita tiba-tiba keluar? Siapa pula budak ni? Gelap lah, dia suruh gelap.
Yep, the correct answer for this word is earth. Congratulations to Janet Beth for guessing it first. Please mute your microphones.
Yes, the correct answer is an eagle. Congrats to Yaya for getting the correct answer. So guys, should we move on to the next one? Okay.
Yep, the correct answer for this round is leaves. Congratulations to Miss Melissa Ziegler.
Now let's move on to the next one. Congrats to Baba Tao for getting the correct answer. The answer is sun.
Any more guesses? Yes, the correct answer is water. Congratulations to Bhavan Pal again for getting it first.
What? Water? What? It's water. Oh my god. Seriously. Zoom.
And for the next round,
Okay. Oh.
for this round, the correct answer is cloud. Congratulations to Syed.
Let's have a deep challenge.
One day you make this. This is a sunrise. Yeah. Apa je? Dulu lagi ya.
Hey, are you sick?
Okay, so now let's congrats to Shara for getting the correct answer. The answer is rainbow.
Rainbow. I don't know what to say. I do. No.
The answer for this one is a dog. Congratulations to Bhavan Pal for getting it first. And for our final round, Any more guesses?
This will be the final one. Congrats to Janet Beck for winning the last round. The answer is
Platypus. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you for participating in our little game. After that, let's move on to watch our final two videos by our students, Anderson and Sherman.
Hello, people of Earth. I am speaking to you. I am the air. Why do I have unhealthy substances in the air? Is it you humans who did this? I am certain that it was you all. Factories are disposing their waste to the air, releasing carbon dioxide. Due to air pollution, people like you can die. Although you know about it, but you're still doing it. What's worse, you burn the forest down. The trees can conduct photosynthesis, and they provide you oxygen. Besides this, the logs of the trees are used for urban development due to population growth. So what happens when you burn them down? Do you feel sorrowful? I bet you feel that way. Just look at the trees after they got burned or chopped down. You will feel sadness in you. Greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide are released from factory waste. It can cause difficulty breathing or worse, asthma. So what are the ways that we can do to help clean our environment? One of the recommended way is to replant trees. If you have the effort to, if you have the heart to, and if you have the willingness to do so. And do prevent forest burning because it can create air pollution, which will indirectly kill you. So look at this picture. This shows that we need oxygen from the plants, and plants is the most important. So I would like to say, take a step back and think of what we can do to help to keep our environment clean and safe. People's life is in your hands, and the future is yours. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Humans, this message is brought to you to make you understand the importance of air. And if you pollute me, you die. It's your life, it's your rights. Therefore, the fight will be on your own. It's everyone's freedom to decide. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful video, Anderson. Next, let's move on to another video by Sherman.
Home to 68.7% of the Earth's freshwater. It is I, the ice glacier. More often than not, I am being mistaken as icebergs. which made the Titanic sink. Shh, they're still guilty. Well, icebergs are part of meat which breaks off, and they come in many different types. Namely, tabular, wedged, domed, blocky, so many. It's basically like chicken. They have more names after they are dead rather than alive. You know what I'm talking about. Fried, roasted, chopped. They even have an American name. Kentucky. Alright, enough of my lame jokes. Now to the essence. I cover 10% of Earth's land surface. However, I covered 32% during the last ice age. How did this happen? I went on a diet, unwillingly. I know you have seen liquid like rivers flowing, but have you seen solid flowing? I have witnessed myself break into pieces and start melting faster than ever, while my friends, the polar bears, are collapsing. And the penguins, they are disappearing. It is like a nightmare and also a daymare, as it happens throughout the day. This is all caused by the increase in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions, which are raising the global temperature. Who is to blame for this? I believe we all know the answer. Let's now shift to the immense problem here. While I am melting, the sea level rises approximately 3.4 millimeters per year. Speaking about this, my death can already be forecasted. At this rate of melting, more than a third of me will melt before the year 2100. And when I completely melt apart, the sea level will rise about 70 meters high, and the tides will soon cover all the coastal cities. San Francisco, London, Netherlands, Bangladesh, and many more will just be a memory. While islets cease to exist, vast migrations beyond the control of government officials, lack of food supply, and major tsunamis will take place. This may not impact the human race now, but it is what the future beholds. By enacting recycling in our daily lives, maneuvering renewable energy, and by taking public transportations more often, there is a chance to save this earth before it's too late. The earth is in your hands. Do not leave me and the icebergs melting excessively anymore. Cherish the environment and protect our mother. Start making a change today.
Wow, I felt like I was at the North Pole just now.
So, Jaman, what is your opinion on how we can preserve our ice glaciers?
In my opinion, I think that we can start by doing small steps like reducing the global temperature, which is by taking public transport, turning off the air conditioner, and also by doing small steps. When we go out of our house, we should turn off the battery and stuff.
Yes, in my opinion, taking public transport is way more fun than just riding your own car. And not to mention, it can also help with our economy.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Now, let us move on to the next slide.
Oh, we don't know how. Without further ado, I would like to invite our special guest, Mr. Joshua O'Neill, to give us a short talk.
Mr. Joshua is an established senior management consultant specializing in global M&A and system integration. He is also a PADI diving instructor, a passionate oceanographer, and a celebrated public speaker. Josh founded Love is an Action Ltd, a non-profit organization dedicated to reducing litter and saving the oceans. Josh calls Malaysia home and currently lives in Kuala Lumpur.
The topic that Mr. Josh will be talking about for our virtual Earth Day today is the importance of trees and saving the environment, to adopt trees as one of the situations, to clean up, to reduce and recycle.
Now, let us enjoy
Hi everybody, my name's Josh and I'm the founder of the Litter Club. Today I'm going to spend a little bit of time with you to talk to you about planting trees and how we can integrate tree planting into your school. So why don't we just get into it? You know, climate change is a really big thing and we're talking about a climate crisis at the moment. I know that we're going through COVID, and that's not good. But what we're doing to our planet is even worse, and it's even bigger. So we've got to make sure that we're doing the right thing by our planet. We've got to make sure that we're not just cleaning up now, like we do at the Litter Club. We've got to make sure that we for the 10, 20, and 30 years down the track, when you're all growing up, and it needs to be better than what it is today. So one of the things we need to do is make sure that we're doing the right thing when it comes to tree planting. So why trees? Well, there's a whole lot of really cool stuff that trees do. They give us oxygen. They give us food. Like, where do our pears and apples come from? Where do our oranges and avocados come from? They help the planet. They provide us shade by keeping us cool. Yeah, and they transfer carbon dioxide into oxygen. So they provide us with the really good stuff that we need to keep breathing. Trees are just awesome. So what do we do when it comes to planting trees? Well, the Litter Club has partnered with EcoMatcher, and EcoMatcher is a tree planting platform that plants trees, and I mean lots and lots of trees all around the world. So we don't just plant trees, we know everything about that tree, from the time that it was just a little sapling in the nursery to the time that the farmer took it out and planted it in the plantation. We then watch it grow, and we do it really specially because every tree is part of the blockchain. And if you don't know what the blockchain is, like I didn't, then I just Googled it and found out a little bit more. What it means is that one tree belongs to me and nobody else. Now I can visit that tree and I can chat to it using TreeBot. It's kind of like a chatbot, and I can message the tree and say, hey, how are you feeling today? And what do you eat? And where are you? Or what's the weather like there? So these are some fun things that we can do with trees. We can also find out who the farmer was that planted it, as well as who's looking after it now, how old it is, and how tall it's growing. So there's so much information about the tree that is just, I don't know, it's kind of fun. And it's ours. In fact, I've got to tell you another secret. There's one other little thing that you can do. You can actually take a selfie. Actually, we call it a treefie. And you can then put that on your Instagram or Facebook account. But don't forget to ask Mum and Dad first. All right. So not only planting one tree, we plant thousands of trees, tens of thousands of trees. And every time we plant 1,000 trees, we call it a forest. And that forest could have your school name on it. And each of you could own a tree. Each of you could give a tree to somebody else and share those trees amongst your whole community. That tree would be with you forever. That tree that you plant today will grow up with you. And that's really cool. What are some of the other things we do with EcoMatcher? Well, we give trees as gifts. Can you imagine if it's your 15th birthday, right? And one of the gifts that you receive is 15 trees. Wouldn't that be really cool? That's something that would grow up with you through your life, and you would be part of that forest, that huge plantation in a country somewhere around the world, making a difference to our planet, making a difference to your planet. We've got lots and lots of partners that we work with, and we are spreading our message all the way through the world. Lots of big companies that you might know, such as Microsoft. Yeah, probably the people who are powering your computer. Now, we plant trees in Indonesia, Philippines, Guatemala. And if you don't know where Guatemala is, get on Google and look that up as well. What about Uganda and just our neighbours, Thailand as well? We don't plant them in Malaysia as yet, but we're looking to plant here very, very soon. Now, there's lots of ways that you can track your trees and lots of ways that you can integrate it into what you're doing in your school. Between you and your teachers, connect with us and let's see what we can do about getting a tree, a forest planted in your school. So I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spending some time with us and letting me tell you a little bit about the trees that we plant all around the world with EcoMatcher. Don't forget, if you want more information, go to our Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube page, check out the Litter Club project, and send us a message. Check in with a great friend of mine, Mel, who looks after the EcoMatcher partnership that we have, or message me, the founder of the Litter Club. My name's Josh. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. Have a great day, stay safe, and be kind.
Thank you, Mr. George, for that very informational and interesting talk. I totally agree with Mr. George. Trees are indeed extremely important to our lives. Why should we go and buy such an expensive but useless gift for our friends when we can just give them a tree?
Yes, I totally agree with that, Chan. I think that the Litter Club has been doing a very great job in improving the environment.
Yep, we should all take the initiative to be like them and to do our part for the environment as well.
Now let's move on to the next event.
Hi, everybody.
So now it's our nature quiz time. It's time to challenge your mind. The link will be provided in the chat box, and please join the link.
And we will also be picking winners, so to do your best for the quiz. Make sure to join the link in the chat box, guys.
We will be having this quiz until 9:20. Take your time and answer it.
Three more minutes until the quiz ends. Ending.
This is our end of the quiz.
I hope that all of you learned a thing or two from our quiz. Now let's move on. Who's saying this? Oh, I typed that out.
As our theme this year is Speak for Nature, let's speak out for nature. Write a message that you wish to convey on a piece of paper and we will take a picture of it at the end of the photo session.
You can write anything like let's all work together to take care of nature or any slogans or mottos. Everyone, you have 1 minute left to write your message.
Everyone, you can keep your messages for now and we'll keep that for our photo session later.
Now, let's move on to our finale performance by one of our students, Sherman, who will be performing Heal the World by Michael Jackson.
You can turn on your flashlights on your phone and wave it like you're at a concert.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place could be much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you'll feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there. If you care enough for the living, make a little space, make a better place, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you cared enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. If you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, it only cares for joyful giving. If we try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel fear or dread. We stop existing and start living. Then it feels that always love's enough for us growing to make a better world. Make a better world. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you cared enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. And the dream we were conceived in will reveal a joyful face. And the world we once believed in will shine again in grace. Then why do we keep strangling life with this earth crucified soul? Though it's plain to see this world is heavenly, be God's glow. Hey, we should save this earth and heal this world, not as a singular, but together, everyone. Create a world with no fear. Together we cry happy tears. See the nations turn their swords into plowshares. We could really get there if you cared enough for the living. Make a little space to make a better place. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you cared enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you cared enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you cared enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. There are people dying. If you cared enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me.
With that concludes our Earth Hour 2021. I hope everyone had fun and you may turn on your lights now.
Now it's time for the photo chat session. Everyone, please turn on your cameras and also raise your messages that you wrote just now. Where is everyone? Oh, where am I missing the people?
Please turn on your videos.
Please turn on your cameras, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Turn on your videos, please, everyone.
Even though you didn't write your message.
Yeah, it's fine. Just turn on.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining Sri Bestari's program.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, Mr. Josh. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Puan Tunsia. Thank you all. We see you next year in Earth Hour next year, and we are working. We're going to work for our one new next project, RM1 for oxygen. Okay, so our next project will be RM1 for oxygen. That's going to be launched in April.
Tahniah cikgu. Bagus, bagus. I will support for this.
Okay, we go for RM1 for oxygen. That means kita kumpul RM1. I want every school also to take part and do in your own school. And that RM1 will collect and we buy a tree, buy a plant, and then we do some tree planting in your school compound.
Oh bagus. Saya pernah buat dulu tapi 10 sen untuk Gaza, Palestin.
Apa sekarang kita now we do RM1 for oxygen. We get the student to donate RM1 each.
Yes, correct.
And that money then because that RM1 will give them oxygen for their whole life.
Inshallah, I will support for this.
So
okay.
I already done the poster. So once we launch it in our Sri Bestari on that program, then we will share the posters with other schools as well. Okay. So thank you very much. See you guys.
Bye.
Kita dah nak balik.
Thank you.
We are in school tonight. Kita kat sekolah ni.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Bye. Thanks, Anderson.
Thank you.
That's all, okay? Yeah. Bagi lah pertama sikit. Bye. Just Sri Bestari lah. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, end it.
Okay.